Hey guys, I'm Josh Horowitz, and welcome to the global press conference for Spider-Man Brand New Day. We have assembled, really for the first time, I think, since filming, basically the entire principal cast of this amazing movie, the creatives. We're just days away from the release of the movie, July 31st. We are, of course, coming to you from New York City. We had to do this in New York. We're at the Edge NYC, and we are talking to you guys all around the world. I'm going to take your questions. I've got my questions, and we're going to finally pull the veil back a little bit on your super secret movie, Destin. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, I'm going to introduce this panel as if they need an introduction, but this is, of course, Destin Daniel Cretton, the director of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Hopefully you know this guy, Tom Holland, aka Peter Parker, Spider-Man. It's the Queen of Hollywood herself. It's Zendaya. It's the Crown Prince of Hollywood. It's Jacob Batalon, everybody. The producers behind it all, Kevin Feige, Amy Pascal. Joining the big screen Spider-Verse finally, Frank Castle himself, it is Jon Bernthal, and we don't even know her name, except we do know her name. It is Sadie Sink. She joins us today. Welcome, Sadie. All right, let's dive right in, guys.
Let's do it.
I haven't seen your movie. Very few people have seen your movie. Who here has seen this movie?
I've seen it.
Okay, impartial reviews. What can we say? Are you?
I'm not impartial. Fantastic.
5 stars.
5, 6.
Wow, okay. What can we say? Just generally speaking, seeing the finished product, what?
I think we can all agree that Destin nailed it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we
I
can.
think we are so lucky to have Destin as the captain of our ship. You know, he came into this process when the movie was going in 100 different directions, and really what we needed was someone to come in and focus us all on one idea. And what's so amazing about Destin is that he's able to do that and focus on this idea of what is life like for a young person who is alone. And that is something that people deal with all across the world. It doesn't sacrifice the action. It doesn't sacrifice the scope and scale of the movie. So if we didn't have Destin, this movie wouldn't be half of what it is.
There it is. Let's talk about the title of the film. Destin, what does Brand New Day mean to you? What should it convey to the audience?
Brand New Day, I think, is something that Peter hasn't quite learned yet at the beginning of this movie. I think it represents something that he is deep inside hoping for, and you will see that in many ways Peter's character and many of the other characters in this movie find that feeling of a brand new day and a new start over the journey of this film.
Obviously, this film comes after one of the many high points in the Spider-Man saga. I mean, No Way Home was a miracle of miracles. I think we can all agree. I mean, just the degree of difficulty, the way that you guys.
Yeah.
And I do want to talk to Kevin and Amy about this. Like, coming off of that global phenomenon, talk to me a little bit about what the challenge and opportunity was. What were you looking to do, and how did you arrive at this man to steer the ship?
Oh, well, we put ourselves in a really difficult position at the end of that movie because those movies that we'd made before were all about people finding out who Spider-Man was, that made his life a different kind of life than Spider-Man usually has. So what we decided to do is make it much more difficult and take him back to a place where nobody knew who he was, because that is always Spider-Man's dilemma. And it is, you can, after you make a movie about 3 Spider-Men, there could be a tendency to want to make a movie that is more gigantic.
Right.
And what we decided, especially because of the director that we had, was to make a movie that was smaller, and that was about somebody's personal life, and that was about Peter, and that it all came from him. And we always try to do that with Spider-Man movies, but I think we succeeded really in this one to do that. And Destin was a gift that Kevin introduced us to, that we chased and chased and chased and begged and begged and begged, and then finally he said, hey, all right.
So Kevin, let's earmuffs, Destin, don't listen, but obviously killed it with Shang-Chi, but talk to me a little bit why he was the guy for you for this one.
Well, I mean, he did such a great job on that film for us, and it was such a great experience. And when you find people like that, like many of the people here, we want to keep them. We want to work with them. We want to keep working with them. And we were doing that with Destin. He did a show for us called Wonder Man. that is an
Awesome
excellent
show.
show.
Awesome show.
And he was working on a couple other movies for us when this sort of opened up, and we realized maybe this would be the one. And I suggested Tom and Amy meet with him, and it went very, very, very well.
I want to talk a little bit about setup, a little bit about where we find the characters in this one. It's interesting for you, Tom, playing, Peter and Spider-Man are much different places at the start of it. Spider-Man's thriving, Peter not so much. Can you talk a little bit about where we find them at the outset of this film?
I think you really meet Peter Parker at the beginning of the darkest chapter of his life. To me, the thing I love the most about the film is that it really represents, or it's a cautionary tale for the dangers of living a life alone and not having a community, not having friends. And a lesson that he learned from Andrew's character in the previous movie is that, sometimes the bravest thing that you can do is ask for help. And he is actively ignoring that advice, and it is having a profound effect on his life as a human being. But then on the other side of that, as Spider-Man, he is thriving. We're probably seeing the most truthful version of what Spider-Man means to New York City at the beginning of this movie. And the smashing of those two worlds is such a fun thing for us to play with, standing on the world stage and beaming and doing all of this amazing stuff, to then coming home to a pretty grubby New York apartment and, nursing a headache to go to sleep, especially the scenes when we're watching them on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's just so true to what young people are going through on a daily basis. So for me, I really kind of dove into this new idea because it just felt so relatable, so prevalent with what's happening in the world. And I love telling a movie on this scale that is something that I really think will resonate with young people.
And it's so interesting, obviously, this core three relationship has been, it's been so integral to the first three films. And obviously, you guys wrote yourselves into a really interesting corner, coming into this one, because you guys, for Zendaya and Jacob, I'm just curious, does it feel like you're almost rebuilding the relationship with Peter from the start? Obviously, you guys don't know who he is at the start of this film. So was that a unique kind of going back to basics, deja vu moment for you, or what?
Yeah, I think unfortunately for Peter, Ned and MJ live really great full lives. That's
good.
But,
No complaints, we're good.
Yeah, but I think there's also that sort of veil of, they do feel like something's kind of missing. And I guess for Ned, really the Spidey tracker thing is kind of his way of finding that missing link between them and Spider-Man. Why is he always trying to save their lives, for example? Is he stalking us or does he really like his vibe? That type of stuff for him. But I imagine for MJ, it's a completely different sort of, just a different.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was fun. We kind of describe it as it's a fun acting exercise. It's okay, do the scene, but now as if you've never met before,
Yeah.
But it was fun to investigate and think about what their lives have been like without Peter,
Yeah.
and also because for us he never existed, but clearly there's an effect of Peter on our lives. The fact that we are even friends and still kind of living in New York together must mean something to them, and I think that in previous films MJ was always the pessimist. And it was Peter that was always the optimist, and so it's interesting to see that reversal.
Yeah.
Now that he's alone, he's kind of adopted that negativity, and she's adopted his positivity without even knowing it.
Right.
So there's clearly something still there. I mean, we always root for them and hope, and because Peter he's one of those characters you just love and you want them to make the right decisions. And I think to what you're saying, in the last film, he was cautioned. He was warned by the other Spider-Man men but what could happen. And I think in many ways this film is grappling with those ideas and really confronting the things that they warned him about. So I'm rooting for him, but
Always.
not looking good.
No spoilers, but we do have some amazing additions to the cast. This is a long time coming. Look, The Punisher made his debut in a Spider-Man comic, and this is a combo we've been waiting to see for a long time. And it's all the more, I would imagine, impactful for you guys because Jon, you and Tom really are intrinsically linked in your origin stories in Marvel. Talk to me a little bit, Jon, what it was like to finally mix it up in this way with your old buddy,
Oh
Tom?
man, so grateful and really beautiful. I've said before that the best thing about this business, without a doubt, is the folks that you get to meet along the way. And he's Tom's top notch for me, and to have gotten to know him as a 17-year-old guy who was just on a mission to do this. And I had never seen the focus and the dedication and the belief. He went and he got this thing, and then to sort of root him on from afar and to see what's come of his life and what this unbelievable franchise and so many people adore him. And then to become this unbelievable man, and then to come back and step onto this set and to sort of see it fully realized, from some dinky room in Ireland where we were slopping together these audition tapes,
With that cool haircut.
Yeah. It's a miracle I got the job with that haircut.
That's how talented you were and are.
Yeah,
It was a choice.
I thought it looked good, to be honest.
Hey man, I thought it looked
Got you the job.
But can we also talk about? I mean, like the fans have questioned, like, how is this even going to work? I mean, the Punisher is a decidedly adult character.
Absolutely.
Did you have questions? And like, I mean, from what I've seen, it clearly does work. But like, how does Frank Castle possibly fit into
Look,
this
I'm
world?
enormously protective of Frank and the Punisher fans and what he stands for, and that was a real question for me, and it's such a testament to Destin and to Amy and to Kevin and to Tom and this entire group. It was a concern for them too, and I often think, in art, when you get to sort of the crux of an issue, if you dive into it, if you don't try to avoid it, if you don't try to run away from it, or if you treat the audience with the respect that they're also going to have an issue with it, you get something really great. And I'm so grateful to these guys that it was something that we explored, and it was as important to them as it was to me. And I think what we set out to do is to make it believable that the Punisher could walk out of one of those TVMA shows and onto this
Right.
set, and vice versa. And I think you're going to get that while also just paying respect to this unbelievable tone of this film and what Destin did.
Another combo we're all excited to see. It's been teased in trailers. Hulk and Spider-Man. Destin, Tom, I'd just love to hear a little bit about what it was like to kind of like pit those two together. It's, again, an iconic pairing in the comics, finally.
I mean, you put Tom Holland and Mark together in a scene, and it's explosive. It's wonderful. It gets surprisingly intimate. They're two top-tier actors, and what I think I didn't fully realize is when you shoot the Hulk, you are shooting Mark and Tom in a scene.
Right.
So it was very easy for me to direct. They were able to improvise. They were able to bring life into every moment that they were in together. And it was, I mean, all they had to do was try to imagine that Mark was not in that ridiculous suit. But it was helpful because Tom was also in tights. So it's just two guys in tights.
Right. That's why Mark didn't show up today. He's traumatized still by the experience.
It's a really like peculiar experience, because the moment you like step outside the bubble and if there was a mirror on set and you could see what you were doing,
Right.
it really requires full commitment. And I remember like me standing on an apple box, and Mark would be holding this like gigantic Hulk hand, and I'm like pretending that it's choking me, and then he's like doing the voice, and he's so good at the voice.
Right.
And there were real moments where I was like, I just have to trust the process. This is gonna be great.
Need that on a billboard in front of you. Trust the process. Trust the process.
Destin's great. This is gonna be really cool. But I'm like, oh no!
Sadie, as I said before, welcome to this world. There must be a typo in the press notes. There's no character name in there. Weird.
Well, yeah, strange. Right?
Strange,
Yeah.
right?
Stranger things have happened.
There it is.
Hey!
Nice.
Yeah, you
Winner
got
of the
it.
press
I was sitting on
conference.
that all year.
So, like, look, there's obviously been a ton of secrecy around your character. Talk to me a little bit about jumping into this world, and like, how much were you? I mean, did you get the full scope of this like before you stepped on set? Did you have the script, the character, and everything, or?
I didn't have the script for a while, but I talked to Destin a bunch about the character. So I had a good idea of where things were going. Yeah, but it's quite the secret I've had to keep. But I'm such a fan of Spider-Man and these Tom Spider-Man especially, so it feels very surreal to be joining.
Can you say anything about just the challenge in general ways of the
No.
character? Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God. How about this?
There
Let's
was no,
She's
there was no
good.
challenge.
no challenge, easy. She's playing herself, basically.
Yeah.
Is that the secret? It's
Yeah.
Sadie Sink as Sadie Sink?
She just makes a cameo appearance.
Let's not put her on the spot. Can any of you
I'll
talk?
say
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
You'll be surprised. The thing that is true for her character and every other character in the movie is that they're all going through the same thing. They're all going through the sense of isolation and feeling different and feeling alienated and feeling in denial about the lives that they're living. And she's a magnificent actress, as everyone knows. And she, because of the way that Destin made the movie, for Frank, for her, for MJ, for Ned, for Banner, everyone's going through the same thing. They all have the same problem. And I think that was why it wasn't hard for her to step into it.
There it is. Kevin, I'm just curious. I mean, look, you lead Marvel, but first and foremost, you are a fanboy at heart. Watching this movie, seeing these combos we've talked about, is there anything in particular that truly delights you above all else that finally has been realized on this
There's
film?
a lot that's delightful in this movie, and you mentioned some of them before. I mean, we spent our first 3 MCU Spidey movies really focusing on the fact that he was in this shared universe, because there had been 5 Spidey movies that couldn't explore that before. And one of the things that makes this a brand new day, as people I think know, is this really focused on Peter in New York. We even avoided him swinging through the canyons of New York
Forever.
in those early movies because it had been done quite a bit.
Right.
Now it's been 10 years since we've done it, so it's exciting again. And there've been great things in the video games that have upped the level of action that Destin has matched and surpassed. So that's very exciting. Mark Ruffalo, who's not here and who's great, you've already mentioned, that is a big geek moment to see Spidey and Hulk together, which is one of those many things I didn't dare dream would be possible. And then to speak about Sadie one more time, because she can't, it's a high bar. The three actors in front of me set a very high bar, and we try to always do that at Marvel, is have great casts. And when you bring somebody in, it has to be a very high bar. And I don't know if we've talked about this before, or if you guys remember, but we were discussing what character to bring in, what types of characters and villain agendas, and we were thinking, we had sort of this idea for a storyline, and we were thinking about various characters of who it could be. And the reason it's the character that people will see very, very soon is because of Sadie, is because our co-producer Emily Fong said, well, Sadie Sink could play this character, and Destin had worked with her, and within that moment we went, oh yes, it should be her and it should be this character. Which is why there was no audition process or anything. There were some phone calls and some.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Cut to Tom's audition tape again.
Yeah.
Tom?
I think I did 7 auditions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why you're sitting in 2 different rows. No eye contact. There's a lot of bad blood here. But it is crazy also to think, to come like full circle. It's almost 10 years exactly to when you guys first stepped onto set for the first Spider-Man film in your iteration. I mean, Jacob, do you remember, like, what would you say to Jacob 10 years ago, stepping onto that set, knowing what you know now?
Honestly, I would say, well, the first thing was I came in so green. I had no idea how to work on a movie set. And, every other day, Tom had to tell me to, like, move to the side a little because I was blocking the camera. And I still, honestly, I know Destin, I love him to death, but I know he knows that I was always missing my mark anyway. But I would say, the first thing I'd say is, like, buckle up, for sure.
Yeah.
And like, just like the friendships that you make and like the relationships that you make and the people that you get to meet along the way is just like, it's incredible, like an incredible journey. And it's like very beautiful to like really be a part of this after 10 years. And, when Sadie said that this was her favorite Spider-Man or Spider-Man movies, made me feel a little old. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, this is a little, well, it was only 10 years. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful time. Like really, it's like it's so great to like, even meeting the fans who grew up with us. It's just like so beautiful. It really is a great time.
So needless to say, we have questions from around the world from journalists watching. We'll go to a few of them here. Rachel Leishman from Mary Sue wants to know, for anybody and everybody, Spidey and New York are synonymous. What's one thing you love most about the city itself? What jumps to mind about New York?
I'd say the people. You know, New York is probably one of the best cities in the world to just sit down and people watch. And for Spider-Man to be a part of that people, a part of that community is such an amazing thing. We had an amazing production designer, Charlie Wood, who I think did some of the best work that I've ever seen. We built 4 city blocks in Pinewood in London, and you know, you would walk onto that set and you would forget where you were, and it gave Destin so much freedom to be able to bring New York to life in a way that you can really only do if you are here.
Right.
And you know, we owe a lot to Charlie for doing such a fantastic job. But shooting on those streets and having, you know, moving cars and fantastic background and these beautiful sets, it just gave us all of the imagination and all of that culture and all of that texture that only New York has to offer. And it really, really sings in the movie. New York is as big a character in this movie as any of us sat up here today.
I mean, yeah, as a born and bred New Yorker, I have that like detector when I'm watching a movie. I'm like, they didn't sell it.
Right.
You guys nailed it. So
Yeah, our first outing with all of our department heads, including Charlie Wood, was coming to New York City.
Yeah.
This is way before everyone showed up. And we just walked these streets together, took pictures. It was my first time meeting Charlie. And it's when you're doing that, you're able to see what these different artists notice about the city. And I was watching Brett, our DP, was there. I was seeing like, what does he take photos of? What interests them? The moment that I fully understood Charlie Wood was we lost him, and we were like, "Where's Charlie?" And we see him. He has ventured across the street, and he had his hand just rubbing the textures of brick on the wall, and he was just really analyzing this wall. And then he came back and explained to me why he loves brick so much.
Yeah.
And you'll see it in this movie. The brick is amazing.
I noticed that. This is the best brickwork I've ever seen in a movie.
I had such an amazing moment. My young brother Paddy worked on the art department in this movie, and before we started shooting on the backlot, we would go and rehearse there a lot. And I would see my brother, and he's working with the department. He was learning as you'd go, and you'd see him like pop a chewing gum, chew, 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 spit it on the ground, step on it, go another bit, chew, chewing gum. Then he had a scalpel, and he was like digging up the traffic lines and stuff like that. So the level of authenticity was fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it. This is from Jonathan Sim at comingsoon.net for you, Destin. Were there any visual influences outside of superhero movies that shaped the look or tone of Brand New Day?
Very much. We were looking at a lot of movies shot in New York City for ways to try to create a really authentic look. We felt like after that first excursion that if we could capture the feeling that you get when you walk the streets of the city, then we would be in a sense capturing the heart of Spider-Man and Peter Parker. And one of the movies that we were referencing was this little indie that premiered at Cannes last year, called Lucky Lou, that was shot here in New York, and it was just incredible. The director is a friend of mine, but they had stolen a lot of things, so it was very, very down and dirty, authentic New York City. And me and Charlie and Brett were referencing that film a lot.
Amazing. For Amy, this is from Thomas. I'm going to butcher your name. I apologize. In Slovakia, Thomas Puskailer. Amy, you've helped guide Spider-Man through multiple generations. Is there one particular moment from this film that reminds you why audiences continue to connect so deeply with Peter Parker?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yes, there is, because Spidey is always about identity, right? He's always about who he wants to be and who he should be. And it's going to sound really strange, this moment, but when he is sitting on the floor by the washing machine and I know it's weird, but looking at the key to the city, which is the thing that's supposed to make him feel good about himself, and this little washing machine in this little apartment and his suit in there spinning around, I thought that is the essence of Spider-Man.
Love it. Excellent.
I agree.
From Miguel Morales, no relation to Miles, as far as I know, out of Brazil. For Sadie, what is something you learned while filming this movie that surprised you?
No, I think a lot surprised me. It's kind of overwhelming entering a new environment and for movies as big as these. So I guess what surprised me was how welcoming and relaxed it was, and that speaks to everyone here. Yeah, so that was a good surprise.
A good one. Adriana Rizzo wants to know from, we alluded to this a little bit, John, but maybe we can hear from Tom as well. Spider-Man is known for trying to see the good in people, while the Punisher has a very different way of fighting crime, to say the least. How did that difference make your scenes together more interesting? Can you talk a little bit about how that contrast really makes this relationship sing?
I think it gave us the perfect conflict to carry through every scene that we have together. And the way in which that conflict is resolved is so fulfilling and so satisfying and also so scary. But for me, working with Jon and doing these scenes, one of the things I love about working with Destin is how collaborative he is. And he's not just watching what you do in front of the camera, he's watching the way you behave off camera. And, you know, when he saw Jon and I come to set, it's no secret that we're really good friends. And so much of our relationship on screen was formed because of those moments behind the camera.
Right.
And for me, improvising with Jon is always a joy. I think Jon and Jacob are probably two of the best improvisers that our business has to offer. And, you know, we had a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughs. You know, I'm lucky that I'm in a mask the whole time because he'd be doing scenes and I'd just be cracking up. So it was such a joy. And, you know, to what Jon said, it was a real challenge to try and find a way to bring a character that is, you know, for lack of a better word, an R-rated character and put him into our world. And I think Destin managed that tonal shift in such an amazing way because I feel like we don't compromise Frank and the Punisher in any way. That was really important to everyone up here today. And I am so excited for people to see the relationship between Spider-Man and Frank.
Me too. Me too.
So as we wrap up, as I said, it's been a 10-year journey for you guys. For you, Tom, I mean, I'd just love to hear a little bit as we go out, like, the meaning of this character now versus what it meant to you 10 years ago, and also the connection with the fans. You see the fans every single day, and this character means something so special to literally millions and millions of people. What do you want them to know as they get their tickets for July 31st?
I think the truth is that my passion and love for these movies has only grown with every time I've been lucky enough to don the suit. You know, our relationship as three young kids that, you know, our lives all changed on the same day, and to go through that with these guys, I couldn't be more grateful. To share the screen, you know, with our new castmates is such a blessing. And then the fans, you know, everyone will agree with this. The fans are as much a part of this process as we are. You know, we make these movies for them. We listen to them. You know, there's this amazing movement of young cinephiles around the world, and they have such great ideas, and they're so passionate, and we share that passion. So for me, to get to be the lucky kid that stands on that stage and represent that passion is just a gift that I will never take for granted. And I'm so proud of this movie. I'm so proud of Destin. You know, when he came in, it was a scary time. It was a scary time, and he saved us. And
He sure did.
and also I want to say about Sadie. Sadie had a really tough job coming into this, you know, massive movie, you know, with an established family. And she fit in so perfectly. She was so professional. She gives an absolutely wonderful performance, and the emotion she brings, the professionalism, the heart, it's exactly what this movie needed. It's a breath of fresh air. It's something fresh and unique, and we haven't seen it before in one of these movies. So for me, I think Sadie is an unsung hero because she can't talk about anything.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll see it when you see the movie.
This is the hardest part of the job for Sadie, sadly. Fine, I'll see the movie, okay?
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you, Josh.
Stop selling it, God.
Congratulations to all of you. Look, Amy, Kevin, you cast the right guy. Not only is he a great Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but as we just heard, he's such a great ambassador for
Yes, he
this
is.
amazing character. So congratulations to all of you. July 31st is the day. Our thanks again to The Edge NYC for hosting us here today. And most of all, our thanks to you guys for being here. Appreciate
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Thanks.